And what would you like people to know about you?
I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball. I mean, it's just more questions you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Brothers clashing, some brothers missing. Even families have started slight dissing. We've been away for a week. Oh, what a week we've been away. Back at it amidst a saffron wave. It's Ball is Bay, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We've somehow found ourselves between a Western Conference final which ended in an anticlimactic sweep and an Eastern Conference final which looks to stretch to the wee minutes of Game 7 in Milwaukee. Thankfully, that means we have time to do one show before the epic finals that we have to look forward to. Before we head there, though, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our sponsors, Messrs. Diddley and Squat, who've been with us since day one. Check out all our episodes on your favorite podcast stations, if those stations are Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Internet Archive, and or YouTube. Speaking of and or, we've got with us, as always, co-host, basketball guru, troller-in-chief and open BJP supporter or fascist, depending on your point of view, Vineet the Kawai Devaya. Unsurprisingly, he's joining us from Luxembourg, a nation so small neither can I locate it on a map nor pick out its flag from a lineup of two. Say hello, Vineet.
What's up, people? Also, I'm very happy to announce that Modi Kya Sarkar, yes. No, I don't really care, but anyway, so
let's not talk about your voting history.
Yes, it's
which is probably absentee
votee. So I've been thinking about this a lot, man. I mean, all our podcasts are kind of boring, so I think we have to start getting more guests on our podcast because I really don't really enjoy talking to you anymore. So in that vein, we have a new guest, someone that we have not seen on the Twitter feeds.
No, we have
we
not.
We should bring them forward to hear all their great responses on Twitter. So do you want to introduce our new guest, my friend?
Yes, let's do this. We got okay, wait, that's not the line. Okay. We are very excited to bring on our guest for this pod. She's a writer with First Post, a proud member of Delhi Public School, the Asian College of Journalism, and the RTs Are Not Endorsements Twitter Club. And as she's mentioned hundreds of times in the 1 email and 5 DMs we've exchanged, she's a recent NBA convert and a Warriors fan. Let's welcome to the pod the lovely Miss Nikhila Makkar. Am I pronouncing it right? Nikhila?
Yes, that was surprisingly accurate.
For a South Indian, I would say.
I'm pretty East Indian that way. Except the cowbell, whatever. We'll not go there. Okay. Nikhila, first question, obviously, as a very, someone who's done a lot of research and all. Why is your Twitter handle Kokum?
Oh my god! I thought you guys were going to ask me this. It's got nothing to do. It's got no South Indian connection.
Not even Kokum.
No, I've been asked this so often, especially because I was at ACJ in Chennai, and so people did assume that it's got some connection. It's just a weird nickname.
That's it.
That's become like my alter ego on the internet, and it's just something that stays with you. I'm Kokudam everywhere. When I first joined Twitter, now people know me as Kokum.
Okay.
That's how. So it's something that stuck. It's a nickname. It's a nickname from school, and it's really got no South Indian connection.
But does it have any connection to the Kokum plant? Nothing. Not even that.
No.
Who coined it? Was it the Great Shaq? Did the Great Shaq coin it?
If you guys hear the whole backstory, it's so lame. We'll probably snip it out of this episode.
No.
It's really
Go for it. Lamer things have happened in this show.
I mean, we talk for 1 hour every week, so it can't get,
Okay, so I'll give you the TLDR of it.
Okay.
I I
Go
grew up in Ahmedabad, where obviously the Ambanis have this huge influence when I was growing up. And the matriarch of the
Kokila
Ambanis,
Ben.
she's called Kokila. Yes, that's her. And I'm called Nikhila.
Oh my
So-
God.
Oh my God, aspirational name. It's an
No, it's not. It's really not. So for some absurd reason, Nikhila became Kokila, and then Kokila became Koku, Kokaram, Kokish, all of these
Cookies.
derivatives of Koki, Koku. And when I joined Twitter, it was one of the only sort of handles available, which I could get without adding my birth date and my age and all of that. So
Okay, that's
so,
good.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
at least a rich person sort of on our pod.
Aspirational rich person.
I wish.
Sort of. We'll take it.
We're talking to guys sitting in Luxembourg, so I mean,
No,
that's-
that has got nothing to do with money.
It has nothing to do with money, my friend.
It's got all to do with lack of money. But anyway, enough about something that we don't do on this pod, money.
Yes, make money.
Yes, Nikhila, please, appraise us of what is this NBA connection? Like, how did you fall in love with the game, or like or your present fascination with the game? Like, give us a little bit of history about you, about your basketball.
So I played the sport as a kid, so I was aware of basketball, and I have some memory of watching the game, like when I was very young. I, for some reason, liked Steve Nash back then because I think I was short and he was short.
What about the hair,
So
though?
that-
Steve Nash had nice hair.
And I mean, I always wanted to become a sports journalist, so reading the sports pages, like just flipping back to the newspaper, was always the first thing I did. So I knew about the sport. It's just that the way I follow it now is obviously like a very recent phenomena for me. It's purely been because of Steph Curry and the Warriors, because
Because you're a bandwagoner.
I think for sure, like no.
Oh my
I have
God,
no,
you have such honesty on our show, my friend. Huh?
I have no qualms in admitting that, because I feel, I mean, I don't know, when you guys started following the sport, or I'm sure there was some bandwagon jumping at that point as well. You don't suddenly start watching the sport to follow the 10th team in the league.
So true.
True.
That's
So
that
true.
doesn't
Wise
happen.
words have been said.
Wise words.
Wise words have been said.
So yeah, so like I used to follow a lot of Americans for like other sports that I did, and I remember that every morning my timeline was just erupting with like Steph Curry, and like
Yeah.
there was just something about it that like wanted me to watch, like follow the sport. I had a couple of friends maybe in the States who are Warriors fans, and who got me like really interested.
Okay.
I was also doing a sports show at that time, just before the playoffs.
Okay.
And so I think that's like pretty much like the first time when I really like started watching.
This is before Durant joined the Warriors, right?
Yeah, I think 2015. Yeah, 2015.
See,
2015 was,
that's not that much of a bandwagoner. Okay.
I mean,
and yeah, so it was literally like, I mean, I don't know, it is such a fun team to watch. I loved, like, they are so infectious, like especially the 2016 season when they were going for the record. It was crazy following that, and I don't know, it drew me to the sport, and it's kept me.
No, I don't think you're like alone in this. A lot of people, like a lot of kids that I talk to, a lot of other people I talk to also who've recently joined the game, they've all like, Steph Curry is the man. He's shown us that you don't have to be like made of muscles and 6'10", 6'11" to dominate the sport. You can dominate it as a 6'1",
6'2".
6'2" guy. 6'2".
he's really tall in India, my friend.
6'2" in shoes.
I like how she said, like, Steve Nash was short and I was short. It's like, no. Steve Nash was 6'2".
We are short.
We are
Steve
short.
Nash is not short.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I mean, they do have like a really like sort of like a feel good story about just how the team came together. It is a lot of luck working out for them, and a lot of things falling in place for them, and obviously
One of the best, I think one of the best drafted teams. Like, whoever they've drafted like really team first sort of players. Like Steph is not a really high pick. Like, he's a first round pick, but not a really high pick. Clay is not a really high pick, even though he's a first round. Draymond Green, like their engine was a second round pick. Like I think it was 23rd, 24th or something. And I saw this video where.
But I think it was mostly luck. I don't think they kind of envisioned that all these three are going to be like these.
I meant
really...
I don't think they drafted for skill. They drafted for the kind of people they are. I mean, of course, Steph Curry was still shooting back then also, but like I think even the little pieces like the Harrison Barnes or like Andrew Bogut, who was like all those people, they sort of made this team the juggernaut that is before Durant came and destroyed everything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
I mean, okay, we're not good. I mean, we've been discussing the Warriors a little more lately because they don't have Durant, and we always liked the Durant-less Warriors. Like we decided not to talk about the Warriors once Durant was there, but once he's gone. So since we're talking about the Warriors, let's just jump right into the conference finals, which recently ended. Absolute destruction. Like my heart weeps for the Portland Trail Blazers. Like swept out of the finals is not the best way to go off, but did we really see a sweep coming? We'll start off with you, Nicola, please. Like, what were your feelings about this little series? Yeah.
No, I did not expect a sweep coming. I really thought I thought that they would take game 3 because I thought that's when maybe the Warriors would just maybe take their foot off the pedal a little bit. And I honestly, I just thought that maybe, given the fact that KD's not there, obviously, Iguodala picked up that, strain. All of those things, I thought that maybe there would be one game that, we'll have like a sloppy game from the Warriors, which we've seen enough signs of. And I did not expect them, I thought, okay, they'll come back and they'll win it.
I mean, I don't think any of us expected them. They came back from 17 points down in game 3, and then again something similar in game 4. Even game 2, I think they didn't have the lead. They came back and so
all 3 games they overcame.
That is crazy. Like you don't expect that to happen, especially. I mean, I wouldn't say it does. Don't expect it to happen. Like Vineet, my question to you is. See, the Trailblazers lost in the same way last year when Pelicans just smothered the backcourt. Like they smothered Diet Splash Brothers. Absolutely, they couldn't do anything, and everyone else, they're like, okay, if Myers Leonard scores 25 points in a half and all fine, we don't mind losing to him, but we can't lose to this. They applied something similar. And do you think this sort of harrowing defense in the backcourt is something that they can do? Once, because they're in the finals and they'll face either Milwaukee or Raptors. Do you think this sort of thing is enough? Like they don't need Durant to win? That's what I'm asking. Do they need Durant to win the finals? Because if Durant is there, I'm sure they're winning the finals.
I mean, listen, okay, first of all, I think all this hoopla about KD with Durant, KD without Durant is like a little overblown out of proportion, because Portland is kind of a shitty team in terms of defense.
Okay.
Right? And this is what we discussed in a previous pod, is they have no way of stopping the Splash Brothers. There is no way. Right? That's what we discussed. And the only way that they can win these games is to outscore the Warriors. And outscoring the Warriors is almost very difficult. And they did a good job, I mean, if you look at it, 4 into 4, 16 quarters, I think they were up 12 of them.
They were up for a long time,
Right. For at least 10 or 12 of them, they were up. They scored more. But then, I mean, it was inevitable. Like, the Portland Trail Blazers cannot stop. They just don't have the defensive personnel, they can't. So there was, and then, all these Steph Curry bandwagoners, they're like, Steph Curry is 36 points. I mean, obviously, when the guy does not have to play defense, there's no one to guard him. He's going to chuck this ball from half feet, and he's the best shooter ever to be produced on this planet.
Please don't tell me you just called him a chucker.
Yeah, he chucks the ball.
That is not what he does. Anyway, that's it. You're out of
he shoots from here, man.
That's not how he shoots.
Obviously there's been so much focus on the Splash Brothers versus the
Diet
Splash. You haven't heard. She hasn't heard.
I'm not that famous yet.
Well, now, now they're being called the Trash Brothers, which I felt really bad for them because they didn't deserve it.
No, they're very good backcourt, yeah.
Yeah, I of course they are. I think next season it's going to be an interesting season for them. But I think this series was the Draymond Green series for me. This is when he sort of like stepped up. He was like, KD's not there. He was the one who dictated play.
Yep.
He defended so well. He was the person you threw the ball to when things were not going your way. And for all the criticism he's got over the season, he has completely bounced back from all of that. Like I remember when I was talking mid-season on Hoop Touch, and I was like, he's not the same force. But look at him. He's dropped 20 pounds. He's looking fitter. He's looking meaner. He's not
crying.
Like he said, he's not complaining. He's not complaining.
Yeah.
He's not whining. He's not flopping. And that's the difference. That's what made the difference in this series.
If you look at the numbers, there's no way you can deny what he's done. But we need, we had some Twitter feudings about which we will not discuss. We'll not.
Oh no, we discussed. We are not going to discuss.
It, but I'm only going to talk about that point that you made. That see.
Okay.
Like we know in the regular season the Warriors didn't really give a shit. Like they could have probably won 82 games. They were like, no, we don't want to win 82 games. We don't care for home court advantage, all that shit. They still ended up with the number one. What I'm saying is, like, Draymond Green's numbers being low, is that really indicative of the kind of player he is? We know that what we've discussed on the pod is that if there was an option for the general manager of the Warriors, Draymond or KD, you can only take one. Take KD 100 times out of 50. Like, there's no doubt about it. But
yes,
like at a time when KD gets injured, like, didn't Draymond just remind us of why he was so valuable in 2016 and 15? Being that defensive anchor, being the guy who makes that quick decisions. Because I'll give you my take, and then like I would love to hear what you think. Like, the reason Draymond Green was so effective is because he did not get bogged down by like standing and like trying to figure out who to pass to. Like, he made that instant decision off the pick and roll. Instantly he went to the basket. Like, instantly he's like I'm not going to sit and shoot. I'm going to go. I'm going to make them react to me, find that open guy, because they run these sets so often. They keep doing this, like a pick and roll at the top of the key. Draymond dives inside, somebody comes up, he passes the ball off to Kevon Looney or someone there, and boom, easy points. And the Warriors are not those analytically driven teams who just keep chucking threes every single time. They know if the lead is 17 points, I can go through it by 6 made 3-pointers, or I can get 2 pointers, get the D down. I trust my defense, get another 2 points, get them in foul trouble, like things like that. So what is your opinion about that kind of thing? I mean, you know that he's not, I think he's not that valuable, right? Like, if you put him in isolation, he's not that valuable. But because he understands the system, because he knows when to sacrifice, when to make that decision, because he's a really hard worker, like, he dropped 20 points. I mean, that's a big commitment to make. Like, I'm gonna not be in that regular season form. I'm gonna be playoff Draymond. So isn't there something called playoff Draymond? Isn't there something called a playoff person where, like, he performs differently in the playoffs than he does in the thing? I think he knows when to get his game up, which was your point, which led to the whole, whatever. We'll not say the words. Twitter feud. Twitter feud.
I mean, honestly, like, I think, if you're playing in one of the, I don't know. I mean, my honest opinions are like Draymond is a very good, very, very good player. I think he's in like the top 25 players in the NBA. He definitely, right now. And he definitely benefits from playing against two of the best shooters ever to be assembled in the same team.
Unselfish.
And then you add KD. So then that's like the best scoring option you can ever have, and the best two shooters. So it is difficult to say how shitty the player is when you have that kind of support, and you're probably the 4th best. And if you put DeMarcus Cousins, you're probably the 5th best in the starting options. And if Andre Iguodala is healthy, I would say Iguodala and Draymond are kind of on the same level in terms of their scoring and defensive prowess. I don't know. I mean, people can debate it as much as they want, but it'll be difficult to see who the real Draymond is until he leaves the Golden State Warriors, which if he's smart, he will never leave Golden State. Never leave Steph. Just stick to him. Take any minimum contract you can so that, your legacy. See, there was this amazing player called Dennis Rodman, right? Rodman was flat out one of the best players best athlete in the NBA. And even anyone that's played will tell you that, right? And he was so crucial to both the Bulls and the Pistons, right? But as soon as he left the Bulls and the Pistons, nobody heard of Dennis Rodman. Because when you're on the Bulls, you're the third or fourth best player. You just have to grab your rebound, push the pace forward. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're such a great player, right? When you're on the Pistons, you have Isaiah Thomas, you have Bill Laimbeer, you have all these guys. All your job is to do is guard one person. And he did it really well. He guarded Michael Jordan really, really well. He guarded Pippen really well. Joe Dumas was on Michael Jordan. So, I don't know, man. Like, I've played enough basketball to understand that if you are not the top three players, like, no one gives a shit about you. You can do what the fuck you want to do. Right? So, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see him in some other team. I remember, what's his name? The basketball guy. He said that Draymond can be the second best player on a championship team.
I thought you were not name calling.
That's why I forgot his name, right? So if I do remember that. But if you take Draymond Green, right, you take him out and say, okay, I'm going to put you in a team and let's see if you win the championship. Which team would you put him in? And which team would defeat the Warriors?
No,
so then, like, what's the point?
No, but that's what, right? See, why does it matter that if he is the best player?
Like, if I take Clay, right? If I take Clay and I put Clay into the Bucks.
No, I don't think we were discussing whether Draymond is as good as any of those players. We know that he's not. But what I'm saying is, does it matter if you have the notion of, best player or this? Does it not matter what you can do to help the team win? And that is what I was...
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. We'll ask the resident Warriors fan.
I cannot just stand this disrespect and not say anything.
She's like, you're disrespecting Draymond.
Go for it.
I'll tell you what. So, once KD got injured, I think there was definitely like this leadership vacuum. And Draymond stepped into it and made sure that, he ran the play. Just the fact that when he was talking to Quinn Cook after he missed,
But he was mic'd. He's going to say those things. He knows he's mic'd. People say crazy stuff when they're mic'd.
Little extra juice in there.
I just think...
Little extra leadership qualities.
I'll tell you what. I was actually thinking about this. The 2016 title that the Warriors lost was purely because Draymond lost his head. He should not have kicked... Had he not kicked LeBron James, we would be talking maybe about... I don't know, maybe KD would never have joined the Warriors then. Potentially, looking at it, Because I honestly, if he is not missing for the next game, if he's not suspended, I think
that is definitely up for debate, yeah.
So
that's a good point.
So I think that this is him sort of learning from that, and this is him sort of understanding that I cannot lose my cool like that again on the court. I play a very crucial role in the setup that we have, and for this team to sort of again win the three-peat, I need to do my role to the best of my ability, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. That's not what I'm disagreeing. I mean, he's a phenomenally good defensive player. Like I said, I'm comparing him to Dennis Rodman, which is a huge, very few people can be compared to him.
The question never was how great is Draymond Green. That is for your Twitter feed. I was just asking you, is it not fine that a player who understands his limitations does exactly what is needed? And I don't think the Portland Trailblazers would have been swept if Draymond Green had not shown up. See, he's not the top scorer guy, and that's fine. But he is the reason that there's that chaos, which just why do Warriors why are they so great offensively? Because they have great shooters, obviously, but they also have unselfish players who know. If I move well without the ball, I can be in a position to score. And that's all we need to do. It's not like Steph has a big ego as in I need to score 40 points. He scores 40 points because he's that good and, he gets to his points. He does his job. And I think Draymond Green, that role has been as amazing. And we are... okay, all right. So a little unexpected. But it's
fine. Draymond Green knows his role.
Knows his role. Good. And he's doing it well.
I'll accept that.
Then there is no way he's leaving the Warriors unless the Warriors ask him to leave. I'm sure he'll be there. And I think even the GM has said
second best player on the championship team. Imagine how good the first player in that championship.
It'll be the son of.
It should be LeBron and KD combined.
Okay. That's it. We're not calling back to that thing again. let's move on north of the border and east of the border. I don't know where Milwaukee is. Somewhere in the central, wherever.
Central.
Okay.
Central, yeah. The Cream City.
Cream City.
Yeah, they call it Cream City, right?
Oh,
Like, we have that
because of
down
the
there.
cheese. No. What, isn't Wisconsin like the capital of cheese?
Yeah, well, milk and milk products or whatever.
That actually makes sense. But why are they? Well, anyways, we'll go to that side of the border. Toronto Raptors versus Milwaukee Bucks. Like, thank God this series did not end in like 4 games. I was a little scared after game 2 that, this already wrapped with Kawhi scoring 30 points. Also, they can't make a dent. So what are they going to do if Kawhi doesn't score? But somehow the teams showed up for game 4. Kawhi showed up for game 3 again, and that happened. Vineet. We will let you wax eloquent about Kawhi in a while, but Nikhila, first let's start off. Like, what do you feel like? I know you've been watching some of the games because you were tweeting the early hours of the morning.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's the best part about living the freelance life. you can watch games in the morning
and get paid for it. What more do you want?
So I picked the Raptors in 6 before the series started. I picked Raptors in 6 before the postseason started.
Before it started, wow.
Oh. No, like that's what I thought, that maybe it'll be Raptors Warriors is what I've been saying all season, and that's what I said.
Nice.
I said that before even the Bucks series started.
Okay,
But
stop
after
showing
Bucks,
off about your prediction powers, which we don't possess.
Which
But
we
the
don't
Bucks-
even know is true. She could just be saying it.
No, we will.
Yeah, I predicted all of this.
I have the receipts on Twitter. But anyway, but the Bucks game 1 was when I was like, oh shit, they're not gonna win. Like, imagine wasting a Kyle Lowry game and then expecting to come through this series.
Such imposterness.
But I've talked myself about either result so often now in 4 games that I don't know what's gonna happen. I still think it'll be Raptors because this is Giannis's first sort of
Deep run.
just like his first series in the spotlight. I think the measure of greatness is when everything is going wrong, like it was in game 4. Can you just be like, okay, just give me the ball, I'll do what I can. Like, I mean, I know he did that every time, like with his Euro step and everything, but just there was a point where he looked lost.
Yeah.
In like the second half, like you didn't know where he was, and I think that's when the fact that Raptors have Kawhi Leonard will get them through. I think their bench, either way, I think the bench could cancel each other out depending on who steps up on what day. But I think in the end, it's just if you just compare Giannis versus Kawhi,
Kawhi is better.
Yes, for sure. I mean, just in terms of experience in like these big moments.
Yeah.
Giannis has a huge future ahead, and obviously I want him to be able to do that. I want him to be able to reach the finals,
but not this year.
I think experience just wins in the end, like a little bit.
So Nikhila's.
I have to say, for actually starting to watch basketball in 2015, she's really like got her the greatness is about just taking the ball and then saying, I'm just gonna do something about it. I was like, what?
That is.
I mean, I watched LeBron like do that for like 3, 4, 5 years now and get any team, like any players to the finals. So
yeah, that guy's crazy, man. People disrespect him too much.
Oh, LeBron.
well.
Yeah.
Well, with greatness comes great trolls and haters.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, not that I know of it, but I've heard of it. Okay, yes, Vineet. Yes. So what? Should I start the timer for 5 minutes and it'll be like go for it? I'll be yes.
No, nothing like that. I mean, see, I really feel like Kawhi kind of like proved himself.
Just a minute. Right? Yes, you were saying, is he a Spurs fan?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, are you a Spurs fan and who's just like now in like I don't know, denial or whatever? Like, and just be like, okay.
No, I mean, I am a Spurs fan, but like the Spurs have won for such a long time that I'm okay. I'm totally fine with like a couple of years of just like not winning. And Kawhi is a Spurs kind of player. Like, there's no one else who's a Spurs kind of player than Kawhi, and maybe Klay Thompson, I would say. So I'm happy supporting those two players. So it's not a big deal.
Vineet, I think another one of those things that we not talk about is, like how underrated Kawhi's defense is. And I think even when we discussed this, we were like, it would not be smart to put Kawhi on Giannis, but they did that. And Giannis has absolutely no idea what to do on offense when he's being guarded by Kawhi. Like, I think it was 41 possessions in game 4 where he scored 4, like he was guarded by Kawhi. He had 4 points. And you could see it also, like even without the stats, when you watch the game also, you could see that, like Kawhi makes it difficult for him to like use that first step and get that burst. Like all of Giannis's buckets were in transition, as in when the defense was not set. Like he had that early head of steam
or a switch.
Exactly. Like when the defense is not really set and they don't have that 3-2 zone going for them, and it is easy for him to like use his long ass Mr. Elastic limbs to get from one corner to the other, which is highly unfair. But if you've got it, flaunt it. Very unfair. But if you got it, flaunt it. Go for it.
Go for it. I agree.
Like they stifled him completely. Do you think they can do this in Milwaukee? Because I think whoever wins Game 5, like more or less, will win Game 7. So
I mean, we can't. I mean, it's too close, I think.
Yeah, it is close. That's why I'm asking you to predict. Vineet, if it was done, then I would not ask you to predict. I would ask you, what is the score?
Because I've been right so far on all predictions.
Oh God!
So
again. Okay.
See, like I told you, I predicted the Bucks to win it, but I'm cheering for the Raptors. Every game I'm cheering for the Raptors. I'm tweeting about the Raptors. I don't really care. I mean, it's really difficult to pick the Raptors if you think logically. But it is when you see them play, I think they have the more, I would say, desire to win. At this point, I think they seem to be a little bit more hungrier. They play defense a little bit more better. And this is the point I was trying to make on Twitter is that, about defensive ratings. And these, like, when people say XYZ team was very good at defense and all that stuff. The problem is people don't really understand how the defensive rating is calculated, right? So the metrics that are required for a defensive rating, one is obviously points made per possession. That's the most simplest thing. But then there are other factors like, field goal deflected, field goal made, and all that stuff.
I don't think those count for defensive rating. I think you're talking about defensive win shares.
No, I'm talking about defensive rating for players.
Okay.
So all that matters, right? So in the end of the day, if you're tall and lanky and you have a team that's tall and lanky, they're going to have that's why OKC has a great defensive rating as a team, right? Because you're tall, really tall, big players, and you're not going to come in and score at will, and you're good. There's going to be deflections, there's going to be block shots and all that stuff.
I didn't even talk about
OKC. I'm not hating on OKC, my friend. I'm just giving you some truth.
I know you'll say some OKC shit and then you'll be like, this is why OKC did not win. But go on.
I mean, see, that's the reason why they say KD, who used to be in OKC, is a good defensive player. Because he's tall, right? Yeah. I mean, when you're 7 feet tall, you're probably going to block some shots. Yeah. And, but the Raptors are not such a tall team. You have Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol. These are two tall guys. I mean, Siakam is tall, but he's not really tall. He's 6'9".
Okay. All right. That's not tall at all. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, compared to, like, the Joel Embiids and, the Ilyasova, the Brook Lopez, then who else is there on Nikola Mirotic? Like, Nikola Mirotic is 6'9", man.
Yeah, but he's not a defender. Anyway, I mean...
No, I'm just saying, like, he can just go like this, and, but if Kyle Lowry goes like this, nothing. If, like, Fred VanVleet does this, it's like, what, bacha hai mere saath. Like, there's no defense, like, they have Norman Powell, Kyle Lowry, Fred, whatever is VanVleet. And then, I mean, Green is okay, but still, they're like 3D players, right?
Yeah.
So I feel so they give a lot of heart on defense. So I think in that sense, you can see the Raptors like being a little bit more aggressive and getting the wins, which is what I think they did. I think they were defensively consistent across all the 4 games. And if they are consistent for the 7 games, I think I pick them to win.
I'm really not sure that I agree with that the Raptors were defensively consistent all through games. I think I think I said this like last time also. I think it'll come down to the fact that.
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
you've
They were
not done.
defensively consistent, but they had the different. If you go back to our pod, the previous pod, I said the only thing that is the problem is Nick Nurse's lineups.
Yes, but he did make that change.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I told also like if they put Kawhi Leonard, I think I told you on chat they have to put Kawhi Leonard on Giannis.
Yes, but then you also said that we can't do that because then Kawhi is too precious on offense. But they did do
Yes.
it. Yeah.
They did do it because they
did
had no other option.
Yeah, exactly.
They had no other option. They were like, this is our only card left. And Kawhi is like, fuck it, karna to karna, I'll do it. And that's why I think Kawhi is great.
He's like,
right?
okay, I'll do it.
Is that he took on that role. He did it really, really, really well. And he was a beast on offense. And he played 52 minutes. And they somehow got that win.
Yeah.
Right? They somehow got that win. They were supposed to win much more easier, but the Bucks stayed. Siakam missed the 2 free throws. I don't know how he missed 2 fucking free throws.
Leonard also missed a couple of free throws.
What?
Leonard also missed a couple of free throws.
Yeah, but we shall not talk of those free throws. We should blame Siakam.
Siakam is the guy. Yes, how could he? He should be sinking up.
Come on, man. The guy is tired. What do you expect him to make free throws also? What is he?
That is true.
Is he a machine?
Is he a machine? I don't know. We don't know. The jury is still out on that.
It's true. But yeah, I mean, I think the Raptors in 7. I'm changing my pick.
What? Why are you changing it? You just said it.
I don't know, man. I feel like whenever I feel really bad.
Is this how all your predictions have come true?
No. This is the only one. I've always go check.
Go check. I'll check.
I checked it because
I remember Spurs winning in Game 7 against the Nuggets.
No.
I remember that. You said.
No, you were the one who was saying that, not me.
You said if there's a Game 7, Spurs will win it.
I re-listened my podcast again.
What a lie! I know you've never heard this podcast.
It's true. I've never heard of podcast. I've never listened to.
Sure. Okay. Don't tell about that.
Okay, cancel.
Anyway, so like I was saying, I want to just talk about. I mean, obviously, Kawhi. The numbers prove that it is there, and even when you see it, you know that the Bucks, like Nikhila said, Giannis has he looks like a deer in the headlights. He has no fucking clue where he's going. He has no idea what to do. He's not doing his things, and that is more a function of how.
Let's get him some milkshake, man. Get some good milkshake.
So, like I said, I think this is more a battle between the two benches. Like whichever bench shows up that day has more chances of pulling off that victory. Because Giannis and Kawhi more or less sort of cancel each other out. Like Kawhi does this much, but when Kawhi does a lot well, the bench doesn't show up like they did in the first 2 games. But when when Giannis doesn't show up, the bench also kind of doesn't. I think in both of the benches they'll somehow manage to decide. So we have Nikhila saying Raptors in 6, which means they're going to win tomorrow. They're going to hold you to that. Vineet, I don't know what he's saying. We'll ask him again once the series is over. What did you say? And we'll.
I have to be honest. This is one of the very few series that I've been very torn. Yeah.
Very torn.
Yeah. So, but I'm at the exact opposite. Like he's predicting Bucks to win, but he wants the Raptors to win. I have predicted that the Raptors will win, but I'll be very happy if the Bucks win.
Oh. It's the battle. The battle.
Yeah.
The battle. What?
I mean,
okay.
It'll be nice to see Giannis in the final. Like, honestly.
No. He's young. He has a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
In that case, let me put the question this way. It might be nice to see Giannis, but Giannis is really young. He can get to the finals next year also. What we are interested in is this might potentially be the last year that that Dub Nation has all those 3 Arsenals with them, like Steph, Clay, and KD. Some of them might.
4-4. Draymond Green. Forgot.
Oh, I mean Steph, Draymond.
The most important player of the Golden State Warriors. Steph. Because without Draymond, they are not the championship team.
Yeah, guys, I think I should play you back the thing where I said do not talk about this. But Steph, Draymond, Clay, and KD, those 4. So, which team would you like the Warriors to face in the finals? Considering that our aim is to have a competitive finals, not 4-0 sweep previous years. We want a competitive one. Which team do you think provides a little more challenge to the Warriors? Because I think it's still Warriors going to win. If KD plays, I think Warriors are going to win. But let's assume KD is not playing. Which team do you think is going to be take them to 6 games and then get beaten? Yeah. I think both are also one little caveat. Both these teams have a better record than Golden State, though they'll both have whichever team like Milwaukee or Raptors, whichever wins, they'll have home court advantage. So thinking of that also, which team do you think has a better chance?
Yeah, okay.
Nicola, go for it.
I know the team's gonna have home court advantage, but the Warriors have for 22 consecutive series won away from home. So that's a record that's
She's throwing stats in my face. I cannot reply to that. Okay.
I don't think that's changing in the next series. Honestly, I think the Raptors will be a bigger challenge.
Raptors will be a bigger challenge. So, okay. All right.
Why?
Why? She's saying Raptors, we have more questions to ask. We can't keep pestering her about one question.
Okay.
Vineet,
True. I just wanted to say that how good the Raptors are because Kawhi plays.
No. We're not going to entertain those questions anymore. Okay. Vineet, which one do you think is a more challenging?
Raptors.
You think Raptors is a more bigger challenge today?
Yeah.
You don't think the length of the Bucks will have anything to do with it?
I mean, you have to outscore. You have to either outscore the Golden State
Bucks
Warriors
were the number one defensive team in the regular season and the highest.
I told you why. So let's not go there again.
So again, that can.
Also, I'll put. Okay, let me give you this one stat. Okay, Kawhi Leonard played only 60 games in the regular season, and they were 2 games behind the Bucks, who went full steam throughout the regular season, playing Giannis, playing all their players. So, let's put things in perspective. If Kawhi played even 10 of those games, the Raptors would have a freaking amazing record for the regular season.
Okay.
So let's not talk about regular season stuff. But I think, for example, like the only way to beat the Warriors is either you outscore them, which none of the teams can, or you really play defense. So if I had to pick, I would take Kawhi and Danny Green and Serge Ibaka and put them on Draymond, Steph, and KD and let Clay win the game for them. Clay and the rest of the Warriors and the rest of the Raptors. And then that's a dice roll.
Like if we can't beat you with this, we are not going to be able to beat you anyways.
Then that's it.
Okay. So you also think
I would put Kawhi on KD. That's like gone. KD is gone.
KD is not going to come back, man. He's done for the season. I mean, it's not official yet, but I'm just saying.
Even I feel so. I think it's a bigger injury than they're letting on.
I mean, I don't think he's coming back. And I hope he doesn't come back because it's okay. I see, all this sport, we've always hated it when great players get injured, but I think KD is fine. Like, let him rest, let him come back.
3 champions is enough, no?
Why do you want 3 MVPs also?
3.
He'll get the ring this time also. It's not a big deal. And I think...
No, I think if KD is not there, the Raptors can easily beat them.
No, I don't think they can easily beat them. I do not think so. Because I don't think they have the... It is a Kawhi team with little spaces around them. So unless the bench shows up, they're not going to beat them. And I don't think they have the pedigree to beat the Warriors. But
put Kawhi and Steph, you'll see.
Oh, please, Kawhi was on... okay, fine. We'll see when that
Kawhi
happens.
was on Steph in the Western Conference Finals where they were 25 points up.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah. And where Steph scored like 9 points or 10 points, something like that.
So that's okay, right? That's a different team. We're going to see. I don't
Why?
think
How is it the same players?
No, it's not the same players. Like, he was playing with the Spurs.
Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, they were the 2, 3 and D players.
See, man, like, I'm telling you, like, not only...
LaMarcus Aldridge plays no defense.
Why are we talking about LaMarcus Aldridge? We're not talking about those people. I'm just saying, we'll see. Anyway, we have no idea what's
What's your pick? Ashwin, what's your pick
for
who will be the tougher team?
The tougher team for the thing. I think it'll be... it has to be Milwaukee. You guys both said Raptors. I was not going to say Raptors anyway, but I was going to say Thunder. But I think I think they have it. I think they have it. See, home court advantage. They have a...
Even Raptors have home court advantage.
True, but Raptors, I don't think they have that much quality in the front court as the Bucks do. So I think Bucks have the better front court. And,
Eric Bledsoe?
Front court, not...
Oh, front
court, yeah. They have their Splash Mountain, they have Giannis, they have Mirotic, who are very decent 3-point shooters, not Giannis, but and Giannis can do his thing. I think personally that the Bucks are a better challenge to the Warriors, even though they'll also lose in 6 games. Like, nothing's changing that, but they are better. Maybe.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's very difficult to predict some team defeating the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you make mistakes, then you don't have a problem admitting that you can make mistakes.
You guys are way more optimistic than I am about like the finals. Like
No.
We have to, right? We have a pod to run. We have to make it sound like it's a very interesting NBA season where like anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's only injuries which makes something happen. Okay, I think we've talked about the things. We'll get back once more and see how our predictions have landed up. Hopefully, some of
We're
them.
gonna tweet all these predictions out and then at her.
No.
And then when they go wrong, we're gonna be like, oh, and we're gonna like meme it out.
Yeah. That's a very good way of publicizing this pod. Going after people.
Hey man, you gotta do something.
Speaking of going after people, my God, did you guys catch that Magic Johnson interview with Stephen A. Smith?
yes, of course.
Talk about throwing people under the bus and just jumping, dancing over them. That was.
I did not think it was possible for any team to be more dysfunctional than the Knicks, but the Lakers have just done that. Like their management has proven that they are the most dysfunctional team in the NBA right now. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe LeBron's just reconsidering his decision. Like what the how do you land free agents if this is what this is what's going on behind?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't respect Magic Johnson, then what are you gonna do with that? I mean, that is something very interesting. But Vineet, I think when Magic had retired, we had discussed about how he doesn't want to seem like a I think your words were he doesn't want to seem like a loser because he's used to winning and he's got all these franchises and in that interview he's like I don't see. I'll be honest with you, because I have no contact with Magic Johnson and all. I felt he was being a little bit of a bitch in that not just throwing people under the bus, but it did not seem very genuine. It seemed like he was trying to clear his name out of any, as in he was trying to say, this is not my issue. I am a winner. You guys are the losers. So don't try to put all this blame on me. So, and even the way he was talking, I felt there was some disconnect in between what he said and what probably was saying. I mean, Nikhila, you were saying that you kind of believed with me, so let me take the positive side once. What were your first impressions about that interview?
I just think that it was extremely irresponsible whatever he did. I mean, he's a great player obviously, and there's so much that he's done in his career, but I think I don't think he anticipated how much of hard work this is going to be.
Yeah.
You're not just not hired as an ambassador. You're hired to do a lot of work, and especially because he took credit for signing LeBron. Like he said that he had the meeting with LeBron, and when you do that and then you don't even inform him that you're leaving, you don't inform your owner, you don't inform Rob Pelinka, who's supposed to be your partner in this. Yeah. That I just felt looked really bad on him. And then for him to come out on the day that they were going to announce the coach and to say all these things to take away, again, the limelight from the Lakers was, again, I don't think it was a very well advised.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand why he said that I have no regrets. I mean, he's the one who went to LeBron at 9:01 p.m. He's like, LeBron, join us, blah, 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 we'll win championships. And he left without saying anything. And he's saying, I have no regrets about that. I don't regret that decision also. I mean, how does that make any sense? Is that how you build relationships? You just call someone and okay, fine, now, okay, I'm out of here. How does that work? As someone who's hired and probably fired some people, including me, Vineet, is that how you deal with talent, especially LeBron? It's not like he did this to Mark McGuire or something. Like he did this to the greatest player.
It's the dirty world of business, right? I mean, Magic Johnson has to make money somehow, and the way he makes money is by attaching his brand to different businesses. Mm-hmm. And if his brand is of being a winner and he can come in and say, listen, when I joined the Lakers, I was a rookie. They had a GOAT player called Kareem Abdul-Jabbar who couldn't get anything. The moment I came in, I just turned that shit around, 5 championships. He can just so he needs that narrative around wherever I go, I make shit happen. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I don't blame him for doing what he did, because I've been an entrepreneur and in business, and I've seen how people create narratives around all these things. Yeah. And it is what it is. That's the way it is. We went through this whole politics in India, and it's all about narratives. Mm-hmm. Some people, first of all, just to come back to the Indian politics, because I know it really riles up Mr. Ashwin.
Mute.
Okay, we won't go there. You can cancel this part. But yeah, I think for him it's about It's about his brand. What he did was right or wrong. Who gives a shit? Because the Lakers are a $6 billion franchise. No one is crying tears for them. LeBron is worth $1 billion. They're all billionaires. They're all work. It doesn't really matter. It's just petty billionaire shit.
That is fine, but like you can say what you want to say, or 6 billion, I don't know. But see, what the point that Nicholas said was, how are you gonna attract free agents to this market? Do you think this affects the market for free agents?
Why? See, in the end, players want to make money, right?
Yeah.
And then they have LeBron.
And they want to win.
Yeah. So why won't you win with LeBron? You will win with LeBron.
But
Well, we saw what happened. Like, I mean, I remember last year, a few months later than this, when everyone had a positive spin on what they were doing with the Lakers. Like, everyone was like, oh, it's LeBron. They're just going to sign these one-term players, and he'll still get them to the playoffs, is what everyone was expecting.
We did say that.
And that definitely didn't happen. That blew up in their faces, like, massively. You have to consider that LeBron's going to be 34. He's not... He can't keep playing the way he has been for so long. At some point, just that you can't just put LeBron in a team and expect that team to win, regardless of what happens.
I mean, his 4-year contract is basically, this is the end of his career. Like, he's nailing his coffin, metaphorically speaking, to his career. He's ending it with the Lakers. So, I mean, if he wants to win, then he has to get a talent, right? It's not, if it's just LeBron and these nice boys, the Kuzma and the balls, it's not going to happen. Like, they're not going to get anywhere. Like, they might get to the first round and then get swept, and then that's it. And then again, this time he'll not have any injuries to put the blame on, or some other scapegoats to do this. So
no, but the point is, which other team has that kind of money where you can go and win next year? I don't think there is any other team.
Knicks.
No, Knicks don't have anything. You have to go and you have to create a team.
Yeah, but I'm saying if
they have the money.
All I'm saying is that if you have to look at all the teams that have money and have cap space, right? And all these, like, you have the LA Clippers, you have the Knicks, you have Dallas Mavericks, Nets, right? And you have the Lakers, right? The best talent is on the Lakers, and they have cap space, and they're a big market.
Okay.
I don't think that's true. Like,
why is it not true? It has LeBron. All these are facts. They have cap space, they have the biggest market, and they have LeBron.
See, LeBron can't be like the engine that is running this team. They need either they need Anthony Davis.
Baba, I understand. I'm saying if you are one of those talents, those big free agents, you're the Kawhi Leonard, the Anthony Davis, the Klay Thompson, the whatever, these big guys, right? Like, of all the teams that you have, that, like, let's say, like, the Knicks are a shell. There's nothing. There's all these, like, first round picks. It's completely barren. They have a lot of money for 2 people. Same with Clippers. Clippers have some bench, very strong bench. But if they have to attract 2 people, they have to get rid of some of that. They'll probably keep Lou Williams, and they'll probably keep Patrick Beverley, right? Yeah. And then you have Dallas Mavericks, which has 2 amazing rookies, right? One guy is super hurt, but the other guy is going to be the next LeBron, in my opinion.
Luka Doncic, you're talking about,
right? But you already have a LeBron. You have a massive market, and they have money to spend on you. So, okay, let's say the Knicks get 2 and all, but someone is going to go to like. I mean, it's a no-brainer for someone who wants to win also.
I just think that given how, like, had this not happened, like, had this or not come out in public, like, had
yes, it would have been easier, yes.
Yeah, it would definitely, like, especially given, like, the summer that we're looking forward to, where there are literally, like, so many free agents and there's so much movement that we know is going to happen. So I just think that just puts you on a back foot, especially.
Yeah, agreed. I also think that LeBron, I don't know if he has a no trade clause, but if he really wants to win, he should get out of LA.
No,
I agree.
He's not going to get out of LA.
He won't. I'm not saying. I'm saying if he wants to win, he probably has to get out of LA and
go to the Spurs.
Go join some other franchise.
Go to the Spurs or go to OKC.
Yes. Go to Spurs.
Go to OKC. And fine.
Man, I don't understand why he doesn't go to the Spurs. He's always played with shitty coaches.
Yeah, man, that is so true. That is so
true. At this time of the year, he should be like, I want to win like 5 more championships.
The only way.
Which is the team that's going to play me 20 minutes a game, has amazing coaching, and is going to get me to at least the 2nd or 3rd round of the playoffs. After which I can do LeBron-like things.
Yeah.
It's Spurs, but no, these people. They want the money.
They want the monies.
And the Spurs don't have the money because they have paid stupid LaMarcus.
Yeah, plus they're in Texas, man. Who wants to go to Texas?
Dude, Texas is tax-free, bro.
Tax-free, but LeBron doesn't earn his money from not paying taxes. He's got huge money in endorsements and whatever those things are.
Yeah, but he still has to pay taxes, no?
So he doesn't care for taxes. I think you don't have to pay taxes only for the NBA salary. That's what I was trying to say. You have to pay taxes for all your normal other
yeah,
stuff.
because that's all through some business. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so what?
He can't do Space Jam in
Wow.
Oh, that's true.
That is true. that is actually true. Yeah. I mean, Nicola, you're also. I mean, I think I've read somewhere that you're also a huge Luka Doncic fan.
No, I just like him. Like, I'm not a huge Luka Doncic
You just
fan.
like him.
But like, yeah. But so the thing is, if you support the Warriors, then you tend to like. I mean, at least for me, like because I've just started watching. Like last year, I was really impressed. I like Ben Simmons. I'm still on the Ben Simmons
Bandwagon.
I still own some
Oh,
stocks in
okay.
him.
Please sell them immediately. Absolutely.
I'll buy them.
He just.
I'll stick to them. It's fine. I had some Jason Tatum stocks, which obviously I sold. Like
Sold.
that,
Sell it.
That I would have bought from you. Jason Tatum is.
Yes. So,
Once Kyrie leaves, we'll see.
Any stock that Ashwin wants to buy, you should sell. The moment he says, I think I'm going to buy this stock, he'll be like, sell.
That sadly might be true, but yeah.
No, wait. She's saying something, bro.
Yeah, but like I mean, who could have just watched Luka Doncic last season and not been like super impressed? Like for what he did at 18 is incredible, and like he is a complete player right now.
But he's played like professional for like 3 years.
He was the MVP, man.
course.
Not played, he was the MVP.
Yeah, exactly. That is a big deal.
Agreed, he's played, but there's a difference in quality in what he was playing and the NBA for like. I think coming and being able to sustain that in the NBA
True, that is properly
feat.
admirable. Yeah, he almost carried that team like exactly. And that in your rookie year doing that is impressive regardless of anything else.
And I think they decided to tank. I mean, I think if he decided, like if they would have decided to win, they probably would have
decided to tank. That's why they sent off Harrison Barnes mid-game actually.
Yeah, they decided to tank.
Yeah. And he seems like a nice kid so far. Like, I mean, that's obviously something that counts when you're...
Yeah, he's a nice kid. I talked to him,
players.
by the way.
Yeah, he did.
So,
I will talk to his teammate Harrison Barnes next time he is in India for the NBA games. Okay, I think we'll have to wrap it up, but of course we can't let Nicola go without answering a few, questions.
You have made questions. Oh my God! Look at this guy. He's all prepared this time.
All prepared. Yes.
Yeah, I was also thinking as we were wrapping, I should have some rapid fire questions. Good, this guy prepared.
Yes, this guy.
I always say I have rapid fire questions, and then I'm just like,
that's a lie. That's a lie. It's the same question: Kobe or Tim Duncan, Kobe or LeBron. but the confidence cons the people. So they're like, oh, he actually just thought of it. Oh, not bad. Joe Johnson or Josh Smith. Now, what? Okay. Yeah. Let's get straight to the questions. Favorite player to watch?
Steph Curry.
Wow. Earliest you've woken up for an NBA game? What a great question, Ashwin.
I stay up for all this 4 a.m. games. So, I don't know if that's waking up.
Oh, you stay up for it?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, watch NBA in the morning.
Without sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Something about the NBA. We know, I think we can tell the fans now that you mostly cover football and tennis. But something about the NBA that you think no other sport has?
The online community. NBA Twitter.
NBA Twitter. Hashtag NBA Twitter. Please hashtag at us. Okay, that's not right.
Oh, I should add it at the NBA Twitter list that I made.
What?
India Twitter list.
Please add me also in that list.
Okay. No, but seriously, because when I first joined Twitter, it was mostly I was following football on Twitter. And Indian football Twitter is just such a toxic community. It's just...
Only NBA community is all about integration.
Hashtag truth.
So I don't even as much as I love tennis is obviously my primary sport that I love follow.
Are you a Nadal fan? Say yes.
She said no.
Say yes.
She said no.
No.
She said no.
No. Are you a Novak fan? Say no.
No.
Ah, okay, fine. I like you.
Yeah, so, but that's the thing, like, for someone to, like, get into the sport, I think, in NBA Twitter is such a great
Okay.
place, like, because, like, it is pretty inclusive, it's not as toxic as any other sports community. There's a fair amount of dunking that goes on all players and all teams, you can just, if you don't like someone, you can just team up, you have enough support for that. There is not as much tribalism as there is,
Okay.
I think, maybe in
Once
like
he adds you to
individual
that
sport.
list, then you can say goodbye to that point of view.
I mean, I'm the main
troll.
mixer up of troller
But that's
of.
it. Yeah, it's a good amount of drama and like banter and like fun.
Yeah.
So
As
that's
long as everyone's having fun, it's all right.
Yeah, so everyone's having fun.
Next question, obviously one of the very important questions. Who's your MVP for the season?
Giannis.
Giannis. Good answer.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
like James Harden, so
That I forgot that part. Okay, that probably has nothing to do with this answer.
Do you want to spend some time saying why you don't like James Harden?
No. That is for a different episode. That is for a different episode.
I'm just glad that we are done facing him for this season.
So now I'll name some. Vineet, you can join me on this. We'll name some footballer and tennis player names. Just let us know if you can find an NBA equivalent for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, Ashwin's prepared. This is.
I'll tell you the one I already have.
What? You already have answers to questions I've not asked. Okay, go for
like
it.
a comparison that I make very often. Neymar to Harden, like what Neymar is.
Okay, then let me cut off Neymar from this question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is James Harden.
Okay. Messi.
LeBron.
LeBron. Wow.
Yeah, I mean the best purely for
Best.
that.
Wow. Ronaldo.
I think
KD.
no, KD is so much nicer.
KD is not
KD is
nice.
such a bitch.
KD's entire marketing strategy is KD is not nice.
Well, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, not to be extremely controversial, but like, I mean, he's not a. Oh, actually, I do have a comparison.
Westbrook.
No, because Ronaldo also has a history of like some sexual misconduct. Kobe.
Okay. Kobe. Oh my God. What the hell?
Good one,
I'll have
good
to
one.
cut this answer out.
No,
Okay, this
because
Kobe
both
fans.
of them are really talented players, but both of them off the court.
Are really shitty people.
Yes.
Very shitty,
Yes.
very shitty. Kobe is very shitty.
Yes. So Ronaldo. Then that's Kobe.
Yes, Vineet, I'll push you for the tennis thing because I don't want to pretend to be reading these names. You please go for it. Do some tennis names that she can give an NBA equivalent for.
Oh, I should do.
Yeah.
Rafael Nadal.
Who's the hardest working player in the NBA?
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, probably.
Just because I like both of them.
I don't know, but like
Steph Curry.
like,
No, I think Kawhi Leonard is a good thing because Kawhi does both defense and offense, and that's kind of how Rafael Nadal. He's like in on every point he wants to win. Every point is running behind the ball.
When you come as a guest on this podcast, I'll let you answer that question. Okay, you're just supposed to ask the question.
But okay, I'll tell you what. So suppose if you were to like stake $100 of your life on one point for a tennis player, that would be Nadal because like he's someone who would give it his all.
And then
So
it has to be
I don't know, I
Westbrook.
can't-
Then I don't think there's any other answer. It has to be
No, but
Westbrook.
Westbrook is not a winner. That's the problem.
What nonsense! It's not a. If it was a one-on-one game, then tennis is not a team game. Okay, again.
Just for the consistency, I'll say KD and Nadal.
Cade.
Okay, I'll take
Because
it.
they are like
Cade.
they're like those like players who they're not like very flamboyant or they're not very spectacular in what they do, but
Very
they're
effective.
extremely consistent. Yeah, very effective and very consistent.
Okay. Roger Federer.
Steph Curry.
Steph. Shit! What is this? Nicolo is cool.
Okay.
Nicolo
Okay,
is
but fine. Michael Jordan's obviously like a better answer.
No.
But
Don't have to
Okay,
pretend to
fine,
say
fine.
Michael. No. You go with your answers. You stick with
Steph
it.
Curry.
Steph Curry.
Shit!
because both
Right.
you clearly don't like Steph Curry. I think
He has some issues with Steph
they're
Curry.
both really pleasing to watch. They're both obviously
Class
like,
acts.
Class act, the top of their
Haven't
game,
cheated. Haven't
the
cheated on
best.
their wives. Have lots of kids. Yeah, okay, I can see it now.
Family man.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, Jordan in terms of like both of them are goats. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jordan is
Like,
not
that
nice.
that's-
Okay, Jordan will kill you. He's not like Federer. Jordan is not at all like Federer. Jordan.
No, Federer is very competitive, man. You see how he cries like a baby when Nadal
Exactly.
beats him?
Like,
Oh my god.
true. But yeah, Jordan.
happened
Jordan.
once, but okay.
2 times. 2
Okay,
Wimbledons. No, enough.
Serena Williams.
I've got other questions, man.
Serena, wait, one
Williams.
more, wait.
What? Okay, Serena Williams.
She's a tennis player. What do you want?
Serena is a tough one, man, because I've all pretty much. I think Serena is more the LeBron, more the Jordan, right? Like,
Yeah, probably better. Yeah, Serena is more like Jordan. I mean, Jordan is more like Serena. No, the other way around. Serena is more
Yeah.
like Jordan. Winners,
Yeah.
lots of winners, and absolute like get crazy if they don't win.
yeah.
Exactly.
True.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It's a good game.
Not bad. Good one, Ashin. Good one. Okay. Like this is like this or that. Ben Simmons or Luka Doncic, since they're both your favorites.
I'll take Luka Doncic.
Yes, good answer. I like this.
Youth will always win. Okay. LeBron or Steph, since you think they're both great. Go for it.
I'll have to take. I mean, I'll take Steph. Like, if I had to choose who I would watch, I'll take Steph.
Okay. And the last one, Giannis or Kawhi? Giannis.
I guess I'm not coming back.
No, we shall come back with you once you have changed your answers after these next 3 games.
Okay. And like one of the last questions.
I'm picking Kawhi to win the next 3 games.
Yeah,
That is
like,
true. That is true. She does say that. Okay. Will
But Giannis has a higher ceiling. That's true.
okay.
For sure. And I like him. I really like him. Very nice personality.
Nice personality.
Yeah, true. He answered some good questions.
Yeah.
Because I also spoke to him.
Oh
by
my
the way.
God! Yes. Keep name dropping them.
I interviewed KD since we're just doing
Oh
this.
fuck! I interviewed Harrison Barnes, who was traded for KD, and who's going to be here again. Okay. Nikhila, yes. Last question. Will we see you at the NBA games in October?
Of course, for sure.
For sure. And one last request: will you upload this interview in your NBA WhatsApp group?
I'll send them the link.
Good.
They,
Right
Oh, you have an NBA WhatsApp
Yeah.
group?
She has an NBA WhatsApp group also, obviously.
Oh my god, what are these WhatsApp groups that we are not
No,
privy of?
don't be us in this. You are not part of it. I'm part of one WhatsApp group.
Oh, you are part of our
yes,
WhatsApp
yes.
group. True.
for
So
sure.
if you stop,
People don't like me.
And they will.
I wonder why.
And I'm sure they'll bash your opinions as well. So
That is what we want. We want someone to bash our opinions because it's right
There's a
now
huge-
it's just
Yeah,
our moms.
there's no point in being like nice.
Yeah, exactly.
there's a huge Spurs fan. There's a huge Spurs fan I know. So I said
There are a lot of.
Who?
there's a huge Spurs fan. One of my friends is like a huge Spurs fan. So like, I mean, I
There's always a Spurs fan in
Yeah.
every podcast.
Yeah,
in
you know,
every group.
it's really surprising. In the US, you don't find that many Spurs fans. But in India, we have had like so many. I'm like, kahan se nikal rahe hai Spurs fans?
No, they all love the whole philosophy of passing the ball and not being a ball.
It's all the Hindu philosophy, bro.
no, but I think
Peace.
it's just like, I mean, that's when people start watching basketball. I think when they were having their run.
Yeah, when they were very dominant. Yeah, it's true.
True.
Lakers in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of Lakers and Spurs fans.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, some Celtics fans also. Okay.
Very few OKC fans.
Well, one is enough. They all know who to
They,
tweet at.
they all know who's the only OKC fan.
Yeah, they all know who to tweet at when we lose. So that's not nice. Okay. Thank you so much, Nikhila, for sharing your time with us. We hope you had
is
fun. We
so
look
much
forward to
fun.
having you again. So
Thank
much
you so
fun.
much.
Perfect.
Yes.
That is what we always want to hear.
Thank
Okay,
you
all
for
right.
having me.
We are thank you for having us.
No, thanks for coming
Thanks for
on
having us.
on our podcast. Yeah.
All right.
All right then. Chalo, everyone say
Okay,
bye.
we'll stop.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye bye.